So recently, I made a quaint little SMP for me and my friends to frolic about and procrastinate on schoolwork, as you do. But I have a problem. I get very serious about Minecraft builds. So when we came up with the idea to create a council for the many settlements to negotiate, very important business, I couldn't help but dive headfirst into creating the Odadia Embassy. Copyright 2021. All great nations unite under one great flag, so this was probably an easy place to start. Or so I thought. I was initially inspired by the United Nations flag, but then I wanted something to more stand out against the block palette of the embassy. So I watched way too many how to make a good flag videos and began spiraling down a flag collector's rabbit hole. I decided I was thinking too hard about this. Let's just hit randomize on a
banner generator
till something sticks out. Oh, what the fuck? The embassy was designed to be based at the chord 00. Center of the world, easy accessible. Anyway, we want the embassy to be big for a sense of grandeur, especially for intimidating those dirt-punching noobs. Oh yes. However, this does mean the entire build will need to be built around a 2-block center, so this was kept in consideration. Architecture inspiration was drawn from buildings such as St. Paul's Cathedral in London and Capitol Building. Color-wise, we wanted to lean away from a plain white building to make it unique and stand out more against anything else in the server, all while keeping in mind the biome it will be based in. Hence, a block palette of basalt, smooth sandstone, warped wood, and stone blocks was made, which in my opinion looks quite striking indeed. Another thing that was later added to the intended design was to create an underwater dungeon to downcast any troublemaking scoundrels into, because we definitely won't abuse our governmental powers in a silly block game. Also, it makes the build look a little more cemented into the landscape, rather than an awkwardly floating building in the middle of an ocean. Lastly, I wasn't quite sure if I wanted the dome roof to be made of glass or also with warped wood, so I made a design draft with both versions, and also changed up the colour of the flag, just to add a better pop of colour on top. For the interior, the initial idea we had was a huge round table, say about 15 blocks diameter, in the main room for each settlement's representatives to sit at, established in the building with at least 2 wings for officers, or more so temporary sleeping quarters, with a huge dome roof as the centerpiece. Again, the architecture was mostly based on St. Paul's Cathedral. For colour, we continued to use the same blocks as before, however the warped wood was mostly used for the raised railing areas on the sides, for a sort of overhang for spectators to watch when a meeting was in session, as well as accentuate the main exits for the building, while serving as a neat little gateway for the wings. And so for the centre of the main room, a combination of crimson wood and nether brick was used for the furniture, creating a pop of red to break up all the blues and greys. Other important features will include plenty of spaces to show off and display flags of the settlements, and maybe even collect them as merchandise. I can't help but think of those flag collectors now. And a nether portal for quicker travel, of course. Now that we have our concepts finished, let's send them to the group chat for some constructive criticism.
Looks good to me.
Looks like we've got the all right. Let's get on to building. But of course, before we begin construction, we've got to do a little bit of terraforming. Okay, now on to the actual build. Wow, what an incredible display. Thank you, Editor Harley. But before we present the final showcase, there were some changes that were made to the initial concept, including switching out the clear glass to cyan stained for the dome roof, which created a nice in-between of the two design drafts. And I also swapped around the table and chair colours, just cause I thought it looked better that way. Obviously, I didn't build the aforementioned dungeon and some interior due to time constriction. Like, literally, that dome roof took me ages, like, what the hell? So, like for part 2, I guess. On to the build showcase! But wait, I forgot the most important step. One thing that every authority ever has built their land on. Blood. So boys, that's the end of today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and don't forget to—
Guys, I think there's gonna be a war between Josh and Big Joe Man.